All right. Good morning, everyone. I am tuning in from the Pacific Northwest here in Washington State. We are having some gorgeous, gorgeous weather, but it's still a little cool around here. Hope you all are doing fantastic in the world. And this is my Thursday morning live talk. My name's Nancy. Welcome to my channel. And this is called the Weekly Frequency Forecast. And in this particular talk today, we could approach it from many different levels, but it's why your intuition felt so right. Have you ever had those moments where your intuition just felt so right, so strong, and you kind of or maybe totally missed the mark? Has that ever happened to you? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to talk about today, and why the frequency around your intuition is so important. And it's those times. And I'm also going to mention why I no longer say whatever is for the highest good. So I'm going to explain why I don't say that anymore either. So, all right. So welcome, everyone. It's like, whoa, we already have a lot of you popping on. Hello from British Columbia. Hello from South Australia. Hi from Scotland, Maria, and the Canary Islands, and Michigan, and the Great Lakes, and Missouri and Florida and Malaysia, from Atlanta, Georgia, Salem, Oregon, California, Virginia Beach, Squim, not too far away from me. Yes, Christine, I've been, she's like, oh, you're looking so slim. So yeah, for the last 6 months, I've cut out sugar, totally, completely cut out sugar, and don't miss it a bit. And cutting out like breads and cakes and things like that. And then really increasing the mileage of the daily walk with my dog, Sadie, my chocolate lab, Sadie. So yeah, I'm really happy about it. It's taken a while, for that 6 months, but I'm feeling really, really good. And that's ultimately what matters, right? And just to mention that, I got the information last year that in 2026, I needed to get my body ready because the frequency shifts were going to be quite large. And we were creating the light body, which you're going to hear me talk a lot more about over the next 6 months. And so, yeah, if you're getting that hit, you're getting those senses, even to make the little changes or the big changes, that it's more than just, I want to look good in a bikini, right? It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with supporting your body. All right. So as a nurse, I'm going to step off that little soapbox. I'm going to step back on to this. What I'm talking about today was when you felt something was coming intuitively, you felt it was really, really strong. And then suddenly everything took left turns, and it was like, wow, how did I miss this mark? And the first place it's easy for you to go to is, I can't trust my intuition anymore. I'm going to talk about that, do a deep dive around that. So are there moments in your life where you really felt like something was about to happen? You can feel it in your body. It's calm, it's clear, it's certain. And I've been doing this 30 years and I can still get caught. The difference is that I know how to redirect myself rather quickly. And with this material today, I think it's going to help you to do that as well. Because then it doesn't happen, or worse, everything starts to fall apart. You start thinking, did I misread this? So what if your intuition was never wrong? What if what you were sensing was truly real, truly accurate, but it wasn't the only frequency in the room? Okay. And so I'm going to talk about the frequency of truth. But before I head into that, I want to say one more thing. So I started my free masterclass yesterday on April 29th. I'm having day 2 today. It was super fun. If any of you had a chance to tune into that, it's on my Facebook page, Intuition with Precision. It's a private page, but also I've been going live on YouTube. But put in the section, if you Yeah, what you thought about it. So it's still available for replay for 5 more days, but you can still jump in. I put the link in free. You can click the link. You can register for it to get all the information. I'm going to give prizes. And the other thing is my Psychic Mastery 1 intuitive foundational program. I'm opening the doors. I usually only do it once a year. The last time I did it, I think was September, October last year. Those doors are open. You can take a look at that as well. And on Friday, I will be announcing scholarships, but you'll need to tune in to the course to learn more about how you might get a full paid scholarship to that program. So, okay, now let's talk about the frequency of truth, because we're talking about frequency forecasts here. We're talking about frequencies, and I'm all about moving energy. Let's move energy. All my courses are about teaching you how to manage, how to move energy, how to disconnect from frequencies that do not serve you, how to enhance the frequencies that do, how to ground through it all, how to be on your pineal and get clear. There's all of those step by steps, but the frequency of truth and why truth is not a solo experience. Truth is multi-layered, multi-participatory, and energetically negotiated. You're not living inside your intuition alone, okay? This is what I want you to really pay attention to. You're living inside a field, a manifestation field. And inside that field that you want to manifest, that you're getting intuitive hits about, are other people's dreams and desires in addition to yours, other people's fears, controls, resentments, frustrations, collective expectations, like what's going on in the world, and family dynamics, cultural programming, and even global emotional currents. So there's a lot that your intuition is navigating here for you to really tap into that truthful frequency. So when you tune in, you go, this is happening. I know for a fact this is happening. This is going to happen. And we've all been there. And then you're tuning into what I call a potential timeline, which does not guarantee an outcome, or at least not the outcome that you want. And I've taught intuitive development now for 30 years, and I know for a fact that students and individuals are far too quick to throw in the towel on their intuition and say, yep, it doesn't work for me. I'm giving it up. I've tried it. It doesn't work. I'm usually wrong. My mind is confused. And it's like, no, don't be so quick. Learn how to navigate it. Learn how to deal with the different frequencies. So we're going to do that today. So intuition doesn't always show you what will happen. It often shows you what is energetically available as a potential. And this is a huge distinction that I want to make here, because the moment other frequencies enter into the picture, hear this loud and clear, especially because in this masterclass, people took the questionnaire. The biggest thing they're saying is resistance to the truth, doubt. These are the frequencies that can come in and interfere. Doubt, opposing desires for the outcome. You might be excited about the outcome, but maybe the person that is important in your life is not that excited about your outcome. And your emotional attachment, right? You can have emotional attachments to the way things are, and your intuition is telling you what direction to go. But if you haven't dealt with those emotional attachments that are wrapped around the ankles and holding you back, then you may know intuitively what's going to happen, but you're not going to be able to achieve it. So this is what I teach in that year-long program. It's not just a one and done weekend thing. It's like, let's go through. How do we shed that? How do you piece by piece dismantle this? So when you get those strong intuitive clarities, you've got a higher chance of being tapped in at a stronger level. But let's just keep going. So the field changes when you have resistance, doubt, opposing desires, emotional attachments. And now when you've got a clear intuitive circle signal, it is competing with a choir of frequencies, a large choir of frequencies. And if you don't think your little 6-month-old baby doesn't contribute strongly to that choir of frequencies, yeah, if you thought you were going to sit down and read a book for an hour while they took a nap, they're going to contribute that frequency. It's like, nope, I want to play. I want to be awake right now. So this is why the job that felt in alignment falls through, why the move that you felt certain was going to happen stalls, why the relationship felt like it was meant to be and it turns out so complicated, and the decisions you were so sure about suddenly feels muddy. So not because you're wrong, but because the frequency field shifted. And I've had that happen. I have felt so strong about something. You know, it's like, well, pack the boxes, pack the bags. This is going to happen. And I could feel the moment it dramatically changed. And I didn't know why it changed until after the fact, where it was like, oh, I didn't even consider that this was going to impact these other people. And they didn't want to see that change happen. So why is this talk so important? We're going to call this kind of your wake up moment. Right now, we're living in a time when the frequency influences in your life are amplified, not just personally, but collectively. So there are emotional currents moving through the communities. There's a lot of emotional currents moving through our communities. The narratives are shaping belief systems all around us. External pressures are influencing decision making. What if, what if, what if, right? Even large scale energetic environments can override clarity. And when your system's picking up on all that, you are going to feel confused. You're going to feel really fatigued because it's like, what was that movie? I love this line in the movie, Poltergeist, where she says, step back, you're jamming my frequencies. So basically what she was reading in that movie, that line, what did that line mean? It meant she's trying to tap in. She was the psychic that was going to get the poltergeist out of the house. She was energetically trying to tap in, and everybody's fears around her was jamming the frequency, so she couldn't pull that really crystal clear thread. She had to have everybody move back. So causes confusion, fatigue, second guessing, disconnecting from your knowing, because it's like, I quit, I give up. And here's the danger, because you start to think, I can't trust myself anymore. Okay. But what you're actually in reality sensing, you're sensing more. You're not sensing less. So I want you to hear that. You're not disconnected. You are really tapped in. You're just tapped into a lot of different frequencies. So let's take something like a college decision. So my grandson's graduating high school. He's in the process of selecting a university. He's had 4 really solid offers. Any one of them he would thoroughly enjoy going to. So here it was, 5 schools, 5 different environments, 5 different futures. But now let's add to that mix his parents' opinions, because they know him really well, right? You think you know your kids really well. The advisor's experiences, because the advisor actually said, well, what I know about you is you do like smaller schools, and this particular school is really, really large. So that might be overwhelming for you. You see what I'm saying? So my grandson's he's got to weave through all those frequencies. financial considerations, emotional attachments. You have some people that were like, I love that school. I want you to go to that school. And geographic pulls. People, some of the schools were further away, and people are like, I think you should stick close to home. So this is just one example of got my 18-year-old grandson who's trying to navigate 10 different opinions of other people. And it isn't just what's coming in the ear, it's what about the frequency that they're radiating that are trying to influence his decision. Okay. And so suddenly it's not just one decision, he's competing with the decision with a field of competing frequencies. And what might have felt simple became chaotic. He has chosen which school he's going to go to now. He has officially accepted it. Everything calmed down. But it became super chaotic because he's trying to move through. And then you have me, who I just want to make sure, is he strong enough to navigate through those frequencies to get to the truth frequency that's right for him? And so how about weddings? Think about weddings. Think about your wedding, or think about the wedding you participated in. And maybe your best friend wanted a small wedding and you wanted a big wedding. You're not even the one getting married. You see what I'm saying? Or maybe they wanted a big wedding, but there's, oh, you don't want more than 3 bridesmaids because it's going to be disastrous. Like, everybody has a friggin' opinion, but it's not just the opinion, it's the frequency. It's jamming the frequencies. How about career changes? How about moving homes, deciding where you want to live, what size home you want? It's like, well, if you get a big house, remember you got to clean it. All right. So I want you to post in here in the comment section if you had an event in your life where you knew something was so strong, your intuition was so strong about it, but when lots of people got involved, suddenly it was chaotic and it was confusing. And I do know people who don't tell anybody anything until they've made their decision, so that no one else's frequencies jam their own. So sometimes it's not that you changed your mind. And this is the part I think really shocked me, how easily influenced I was by the frequency of others. And I have a friend, she always says the biggest energy in the room wins. And that's the truth. It can be the truth, you know, and we're noticing that in politics, the biggest energy wins. It might not be the truth frequency, right? This is an invisible thread of truth frequency I'm holding up. It might not be the truth, but it is the strongest frequency that is influencing your ability to make accurate decisions for yourself. And sometimes the strongest frequency in the room, it changes you. Okay. So here's 3 levels of truth. Your inner truth, what you feel, you know, and you desire. That's your inner truth. Your shared field truth, the combined frequencies of everyone involved. And then the dominant outcome frequency is the strongest sustained energy that determines what is actually going to manifest. Okay, I just have to read that again. I just want you to hear this again. Your inner truth is what you feel, you know, what you desire. You can pick up that truth thread, the truth of what's going to happen easily. But let's say you're 45 years old and you've got 5 kids and you are a stay-at-home, you know, mom, parent, and your husband, you know, works, and it takes every part of you to keep that family going. And then you decide that you'd like to go to college. The kids are kind of getting old enough to be a little bit independent. It might be a little extra expense to hire somebody in the afternoons when you're going to college or whatever. And then you're going to be studying the evenings. So you see what I'm saying? That's a collective field. You know for a fact you want to go to school. You know for a fact you could be really happy doing what your education is going to support you in. But you're going to get up against what other 5 other frequencies in the household? You got to be a strong person to stand up to that. And it's not like you're going to build up your frequency and your frequency is going to overpower everybody else's frequency. What's going to be really helpful is you're going to need to negotiate and navigate those frequencies. Sit down and have a conversation. This is important to me. This is how it can be done. Have several conversations so that you can get their frequency on the same wavelength as your frequency. And it's the same in business. Like I worked at a hospital and administration, anybody administrators of hospitals? It's like you're at this negotiating table of changes you're going to make, and then you just send out an all points bulletin to everybody else. We're going to make this change. So there's been no talks kind of leading up to it. And I get it. Talks could go on forever. But the strongest, and in that situation where you're dealing with the CEO, they might get extra points because they're the boss. So the boss, if you don't like it, leave it, So, okay. So share the combination frequencies where everyone's involved. You can meditate. I teach techniques on how to separate your energy, and we're going to do it today in a guided meditation. You're going to think of something that you dream you desire of, and I'm going to teach you just a quick little sampler about how you can start to unweave, move other people's energy off of your dreams and your desires. And I have to do this a lot. Okay. So the shared frequency of everyone involved, dominant outcome frequency, the strongest sustained energy that determines what is actually manifest. So what I notice about people who's really good at manifesting what they want, even if it's harsh, they just repeat it again and again and again. So then you start to think that it is a good idea, or you start to think this is the only outcome, or you start to think, and then you let go of your little frequency of truth thread, what's true for you. And so here's the part again, the strongest frequency is not always your frequency. And this is why you can feel so accurate and then you kind of get bumped off. I'm trying to think like, playing pool, you get knocked into the little, I'm going to call it a ball hole. It's not a ball hole. What is that called? The little cup on the side of the pool table. Anyway. Oh, my poor brain. Okay, so here's this empowerment shift that's really important for you all to hear. Yes, boom, pocket. Thank you. This is not about giving up your dreams. It's not about that. And it's not about letting others override you. And it's definitely not about becoming passive. It's like, why bother? I'm a weakling. No, the weaklings are not weak. You just believe you're weak. But that's a whole nother video. This is about awareness and it's about consciousness, because once you understand this, you can stop blaming yourself for being so wrong. You can stop doubting your intuition. You start recognizing what the interference is. Ah, I see what happened here. And then learn how to clear and stabilize your own frequency of truth field so it becomes not laden, not overridden by somebody else's fear. Like fear is a strong frequency. And so, okay, I'll share it with you. I was like, no, I'm not going to share that. So I had 2 kids, right? And I decided I wanted to go to nursing school. So I was already married, had 2 kids. I wanted to go to nursing school. And I really didn't feel very confident. I didn't feel like I was very smart. So there's doubt, right? There's the doubt frequency. I don't know how I'm going to navigate this. I'm definitely going to need the assistance of my husband, and we're definitely going to need to, have somebody come in and help with the kids. When you're going to college, it's not like full time like high school. So anyway, I'm trying to figure out all this. And my husband at the time um, said to me, if you do this, I will divorce you. If you go to nursing school, I will divorce you because children need their mother at home. Okay. For whatever variety of reasons. And I was kind of shocked. And so it was a couple of days later, I went back and I said, okay, I'm ready to finish that conversation. And the conversation here is, okay, go ahead and get the divorce papers, because I wouldn't be married to someone who would try to move me away from what I know is my path. And so that didn't happen, but it was a threat, and it was a real threat. And it was a strong threat that had strong emotional frequencies to it that could have derailed my truth. But I came back to the truth, and the truth was, I'm going to nursing school. I'm going to go. And whatever has to happen outside of that will happen outside of that. And that's, now I know why my spirit wanted me to share that part with you, because how much do you want that truth? You want to think about that. And I'm not, saying bold. I was very compassionate and I was very calm, but I let him know this is really, really important to me. And I would love for your support. But if you can't do that, then we'll need to split. Okay. So this is why sometimes it's not about trying harder or thinking more positively. And that's a big deal too. It's not about positive. It's about emotion. The stronger emotion barrels through those frequencies to supercharge whatever intention it has. So if it's fear or anger or anything like that, positively doesn't have anything. It might not be anything up against a powerful emotion. All right. So you want to learn how to move out other people's expectations, their emotional entanglements. The story I just shared was a perfect example. And competing frequencies. We had competing frequencies heading in that direction. So your truth can stand on its own. And today I'm going to guide you exactly how you can do that. Because maintaining your frequency is not a one-time decision. It's an ongoing energetic practice. And this is why I don't just, I'm going to do this, I'm doing this 3-day master class. But in general, I love to work with you for a full year so we can build on how do you learn how to navigate and manage your human energy field. And then, so why intuition isn't just about let's have fun today and play. If you can pick up my telepathic messages, although that's a lot of fun, but it's more about learning how to move out all those frequencies that are jamming you so that you can stay aligned with the direction that you're going. And I'll tell you, the big thing about people getting into the Psychic Mastery 1, my foundational intuitive class, is like, what are people going to think if they know? So many of my students come in secret, and that's okay. It's like you don't want people interfering with your truth. Or they'll start saying you should be afraid. You shouldn't trust this. There's all that comes up. Why? It's pushing you away from what you know is a truth. So I know this story. I did the same thing when I started taking intuitive classes. I cashed checks so that he couldn't track the checks. I know this, right? But I wasn't strong enough, to hold out those frequencies at the time. And I am now, for the most part. Okay. All right, let's see here. So what's really deeply relevant with what I'm talking about now? So it connects to, this is what's relevant, is you second guess your intuition. And what I know now working with students, most of the time you're 100% right. It just might not be the right frequency that's aligning with the right situation. This is why, learning how to develop that skill is important. It also, when you are feeling off the mark and you get tired of trying to figure out where your intuition's going, it can completely overwhelm and fatigue you. And the collective chaos energy that's going on in the world right now, we don't know what's going to happen, especially when you've got, I'm just going to call, the big boys with their toys or big girls with their toys. I don't know, whatever category you want to put it in, but it's like, wait a minute, what's happening? And it's, as my dad's been saying, just wait 15 minutes. Everything's going to change. Just give it 15 minutes. So that causes a lot of drama, chaos, fear, uncertainty in the field, but it doesn't need to be your truth. You want to cultivate getting your intuitive truth and hanging on for dear life. And decision paralysis. How many of you know what the truth is, but darn it, is it hard to make that decision? Like, what if I'm wrong? It took me 3 years once to make a decision that was the best decision of my life. 3 years. And it was an intuitive decision. It took me 3 years, and it turned out to be the best decision of my life. And you can bet I don't wait 3 years anymore. I might still wait a year if it's a big one, but I learned a lot from that. So we're going to do a guided meditation. So yeah, and I'm listening to Earth to Jenny. This is helpful. I collapsed under the pressure of my two parents telling me no to my dreams of singing and acting. I remember folding at the kitchen table, and I understand now what actually happened. Right? Right. So, and painful events do have frequencies. And to me, when I see a very painful event that has a frequency that's just going to hang on, that's that past frequency. To me, sometimes it'll look like as a clairvoyant, and I'm looking in your energy field, it'll look like a chainsaw chain, or if it's a chainsaw that has the big spikes on it to really cut through like a big tree or cut through metal or something. That's what it looks like when it's a really painful memory. It has, I call it teeth, not like human teeth, but like metal teeth. It's a lot of mental energy. And so that's why when I'm teaching, we teach different techniques to start dissolving the frequency around a painful event so you can get to the event, so you can work with the event, so you can heal the event. Sometimes it's so painful to go there. That frequency is so painful. It's like you just don't want to touch it. And so this is where we're going. You have that potential to be really influenced by a lot of different frequencies. And I feel like that's why it's so important for us to be having this conversation right now, because there's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You're not missing the mark. You're not off kilter. And if I had somebody who, one of my students wrote the other day, and they wrote, they were thanking me, and they had a lot of gratitude and how much they've grown over the year in the program. And then they said, but on top of that, your psychic skills are crazy accurate, and so that was that kind of cherry on the top of the gratitude letter. But here's the thing, I didn't come out the birth canal like that. And people who've been with me a long time, they'll tell you, I maintain a regular practice because, you know, and when I'm wrong, I want to know, where did I miss the mark? Where did I miss it? Oh, that person didn't want me to stop doing this so they could keep doing that. Oh, okay, I get it. And so you'll learn. You all can do this. This isn't just for special people. It's for everyone. You were born intuitive. Okay. And you're meant to have intuition be a part of your life. Okay. How about a meditation? So in this guided meditation, I'm calling this clearing the field and activating the high heart. So I want you to go into, I'm going to suggest and recommend, but I'm not going to have my truth frequency override your truth frequency. But I want you to focus on one thing that is a truth for you, that you feel strongly about, or you wish to feel strongly about, and that you wish that this meditation is going to help you amplify your truth frequency around whatever the situation is. It can be anything. And then we're going to move off. We're just going to do a guided meditation to move off any other dominant frequencies that may be jamming your frequency. But then we're going to go to this place. It's between the fourth and the fifth chakra. And it's right at the top of the sternum, in between the two clavicles, but it's front and back, and it's about the size of like a little golf ball, and it's golden, but it's pure light. That's your life's path and purpose. That's what you were born with. It's stored right in that little pocket there. And we're going to clear it off because that's where your truth frequency is. That's where your life's path and purpose is stored. And we're going to invite anybody's energy that's on that to move off of it. And you're going to get it nice and polished, nice and gold. And this is a technique you can use for anything that you're wanting to do. This is a walk away technique where you can use it every day of your life to just keep clearing it off so that you can remain connected to your strong intuition. So let's get started, because I'm an experiential teacher. So I'll stop talking, you start experiencing. Okay? Clearing the field and activating your high heart. Let's begin by getting you into a comfortable position where you can sit down, lie down, whatever feels the most supportive for your body. And just gently close your eyes and begin to breathe in and out slowly. When you go through your nostrils, just imagine that cool air, oxygen's moving through your sinuses. It's calming your brain, your nervous system, your vagus nerve. And then you're going to exhale out through your mouth, in through your nostrils, out through your mouth, breathing in, enhancing your frequency, breathing out, letting go. Now bring your awareness to your body, say hello to your body, and ask your body, are you feeling supported by me? And is there any way I can support you better? And often your body just simply wants attention, maybe a little extra water, Maybe cut back the sugar, maybe go for walks in nature. Your body's needs can be quite simple. Somebody said yesterday, dancing and singing. Just simply checking in with your body. Can some of you begin to feel your body relax? Your body's like, wow, he's listening to me. She's listening to me. Now start to notice your feet, your legs, your hips, your shoulders, your jaw, even your forehead start to relax. Tune into that relaxing frequency. Allow that relaxing, that calm frequency flow through your entire physical body, because there's nothing you need to do right now. There's nowhere you need to be or you need to go. Just allow yourself to arrive to yourself. Now say hello to your higher self. That higher wise part of yourself that's delighted anytime you wish to tune into your intuition. And ask your higher self to help enhance your intuitive experience in this meditation today, that might just simply come from a knowing, a seeing, a hearing, or feeling. Ask your higher self to help you to be playful and imaginative. And imagine now a grounding force to assist and support your body's energetic field and physical field to ground to the center of the earth. Maybe your grounding is a dragon, a large dragon, or maybe your grounding image is a dragonfly. Maybe it's a steel beam. Maybe it's salmon fish. Whatever your imagination comes up with, go ahead and imagine it around the area of your hips, all the way down to the center of the earth, and then come up with another kind of feeling or knowing sense to help anchor you to the magnetic core. Now, in your mind's eye, or just simply in your feeling, sense, and knowing, select one intuitive focus or dream or desire. And it can be as simple as I want more peace in my life, or it can be I want to physically manifest a larger home. I'd like to go back to school. Maybe I want to have another baby. It whatever it is, just kind of tap into that and set your intention that any energies that are layered over that truth for you are going to dissolve right down your grounding. Any interference with the truth frequency of your dreams and desires, any layers, is going to dissolve right down your grounding. And let's go ahead and bring in a frequency, a blend of blue, emerald green, and blue frequency. We're just going to let that come through, which I associate that with enhancing the truth of who you are and who you are meant to be. And so that's just going to flow down into the room where you are, this beautiful combo, emerald green, lapis blue combo. You're going to dissolve all illusions, anybody else's truth. It's going to enhance your truth. And then let all those layers dissolve so that you can align with your own authentic truth. All right, just set the intention. That flow will continue, the dissolving will continue, your alignment with your truth frequency will continue. And now bring your awareness to the space between your heart and your throat, that space at the top of your sternum, your breastplate, your clavicle bones. And this is the place that is called the high heart, your high path and purpose. This is where your purpose, your dreams, and your deeper knowingness for yourself resides. As you place your awareness here, and again, you may see it without ever seeing anything. But those of you who are non-visual, use your other cues. You may begin to notice a soft golden light. However, if your life's path and purpose is covered up with some old pain, old disappointments, other people's energy that's invested in the choices that you make in life, or crowds of other people surrounding it, because whatever decision you make influences the decisions that they make. So you may notice a soft golden light, or you may notice that it's congested. Just allow what is revealing itself to you to reveal itself. Now bring in a golden frequency, a healing golden frequency, to begin flowing through that, your life's path and purpose, your high heart. Let it flow through there to begin dissolving off those layers upon layers upon layers of other influencing frequencies. And if you're noticing people standing around your high heart, then you can set your intention that they must leave. I like to imagine a pretend door where I'm standing at the door and I'm pointing at it. Exit here. But you can use your playful imagination in any way you wish, or just simply continue to rinse with gold until all the layers of other people's energy or your emotional frustrations is cleared. Remind your high heart of what today's date is and your current age, because sometimes there might be some really young energy. Like, that can never happen for me, and you were 16 years old and now you're 40, and it can totally happen for you. Mind yourself your current age and the date. Now this golden orb, remember it's about the size of a golf ball. It starts to gently glow with your light, your path, your truth center, your soul's direction. Bring to mind that one important situation in your life right now, just that one that deeply matters to you right now, that one decision, desire, and direction you're feeling intuitively called towards. Let it gently come into your conscious awareness. And now go back to your high heart. Shift your attention. Notice, is the golden light still clear? Is it still radiant? Or once you started thinking of that situation, did it become crowded again? Did the layers build back up? Are you hearing voices? Are there layers of other people's expectations? Maybe it's family members, friends, children, grandchildren. It can be people who love you a lot. They just have their own opinions. So go ahead, go back to clearing it, to healing it, to brightening it, and shining, polishing it up around your truth frequency. Now, I want to say something really gentle here. This is not wrong. It's just simply what happens when we care about others and when others care about us. But right now, you're simply creating clarity for yourself. You're not forcing anything. Just allow all those energies to drift away like clouds moving across the sky one by one. You can imagine a golden wind blowing through, clearing expectations, opinions, fears, attachments, just gently dissolving all of them. And as you do this, you may begin to notice that your body's starting to relax, you're breathing deeper, your mind is quieting down. You're stepping inside of it, you're becoming one. And again, what's true for me? Ask yourself, what's true for me? While you let that golden orb grow brighter and brighter. Bring your attention back to the room that you're in. Take a couple of more deep breaths as you become aware of your body and how your body is responding to the golden light of your high heart. And when you feel ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Look around the room. There has been a change. Do you recognize the change around your focus? So why do I no longer use the words, whatever is for my highest good? Because whose highest good is it really for? And the only way you're going to know that is by clearing everyone else's energy off of it. There's a lot to consciousness here. We're talking about the collective. And as a collective frequency, we are a collective of 7.5 to 8 billion people, that if we just cleared the jamming frequencies and enhanced the frequency of truth, of peace, of caring, of kindness, and we did this purposefully and intentionally, everything would shift. Everything which I believe this, heart and soul with both feet in it. So, but for now, just start focusing on getting the clarity and the truth that you seek for yourself. And then as you build that up stronger, that will help the collective. So, yeah, the highest good. So, again, who's stating the highest good? So, what do I do differently if I don't say whatever is for the highest good? What am I saying differently? What I'm saying is I may literally name the supreme wisdom. What is the supreme wisdom's will for me, because, and that can still be different for the will that I may have for myself, but I'm more specific. So I don't just stop saying that altogether. I just get more specific. It's for my highest good without any interference of anybody else's ideas or opinions about what I should be doing. So does that make a little more sense? Okay. So I'm glad, Monica, that you are recognizing the change. It's been emotional. You feel really great, and that's awesome. All right. So here we are. In 2 hours, I'm teaching my second class, and today, the class that I'm teaching, the free link to register is right there in the little box, is all about your higher self, learning to communicate with your higher self. It is, of course, it's an incredible technique, and who doesn't want to be able to hear their intuition and get validation from their higher self? So anyway, I look forward to joining me in 2 hours from now, and have a great day. And don't forget my course, Psychic Mastery 1, my foundational intuitive development course. Doors are open to register now. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.